it's me again with another vinyl video. It's kind of like a competition entry for, is it Jeff Kempin? I've only just found his channel. I think it's Jeff Kempin. Let me just quickly check. Yeah, I found it from, it's on Jeff Kempin's channel. I found it because Tainted Lord, is it Tainted Lord 84, something like that? He did a video in response to it, and it's about like favourite riffs. So I've kind of moved on that a little bit, because there's so many good riffs. I've kind of done records that have weird bits on it, which I like. If that makes any sense. Something that makes it stand out, not actually a riff, but just something chucked in there, which is a bit unusual. So I don't know if this is like, will count as a competition entry, or whether it's a new thread or whatever. I'm not too sure, but anyway, let me just go through them, and I'll play you examples of them in a little while. So first off, we've got Master's Hammer. I think these were a Czech band, black metal. They had some weird stuff going on. One of their albums they had called Slaggery. They went really weird and got just completely rubbish. I got rid of that one. But this is my favourite by them. This is called, right now it says the Feliminis Occultist, but this is an old version of it. It says the Feliminis Occultist on the spine, but this was a misprint on the first run, I think. It's actually called the Geliminis Occultist. And what I like about this album, other than the great picture of the band on the back hiding in the bushes, is they use timpani drums. You know, the big round drums they have in orchestras where they're beating with the beaters, and like, you know, it's because a really good sound to it. And I'll play you a little sample of that off the beginning of their first intro overture, which you can really hear the timpani drums. I'm sure there's some harp in it as well. I'm not too sure. Right. And then I'll play you a little bit of My Dying Bride with some awesome violin stuff. I could have played you Skyclad because they have violin on them as well, but My Dying Bride, when they first came along with their Doom Death stuff, awesome violin going on there. Right, then we have this death metal band from Norway called Cadaver. They had a load of, basically they did about 4 or 5 albums, and every album was different. One time they changed their name to Cadaver Inc. and they made the theme that they were like a body cleanup kind of business, and they had a website showing it and all as well. And the first album was really heavy. Then this one, so the second album they came out with, and they were completely changed, very technical, with a cello player as well. They actually had a cello player in the band. Instead of a bass, they had a great big double cello thing, and complete with a bow. And I saw them playing in East London on this gig. You can see in the picture here, I think you can see it, it's like there's like a strings of a bass cello sticking out of the eyeball there. Yeah, but this is really good. And there's one song in particular, I think it's called Inner Persecution, where you can just hear it being played with a bow. It's like do 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 do. And it's just like, oh, I love it. So I'll play you that little clip in a minute. This one, Seance for Never Laid to Rest. This is Swedish death metal at its finest, and there's one track, the first track, Who Will Not Be Dead, and it's not a musical part, it's just the music stops for a second and you hear like the singer taking a deep breath as if he's like waking up in a tomb or something, and it's just like really kind of gives me a little chill every time I hear it. It's a really good little section. And finally, this band here, Warp Speed, Distant Screams, they've got a track called The Nothing Room. It's also on a compilation. Actually, I've got the actual, I should have played it on the vinyl actually. I've got a compilation vinyl over there. It's on a compilation called A Taste of Armageddon, which is one of my favourite compilations ever. Load of old UK thrash on there, really good stuff. Back from 1989, something like that. But anyway, on this track, The Nothing Room, the band stops for a second and you hear just clicking fingers. It sounds like, I'm sure it's clicking fingers. It could be like a beat on the rim of a drum, maybe a snare. But to me, it just sounds like the music just stops and goes click, click, and it's just so weird and out there. And it just like, I loved it. I think it's really good. But anyway, let me see if I can play you little clips of all of it. Let's start with the Distant Screams. I've got it set up actually. So let's play that first. Any minute, I can't do it myself. What's that all about? It's good though, I like it. So that was Seance for Never Laid to Rest, with the little breathing bit on Who Will Not Be Dead. It's Cadaver. going to be the bit off in the Persecution off the In Pains album. Yes, how's that for a start to a song? In a minute, bit of cello magic. Fucking awesome, I love that bit. Okay, this is My Dying Bride. This is a 45, Symphonia Infernus et Spira Imperium. One track on each side. This was back on 91, is it? Yeah, 1991 from Peaceful Records. So, a bit of violin there. You can hear the violin going on in the background, hopefully, and it starts off with that violin-y bit as well in the beginning. It just adds an extra element of like moroseness and darkness to the doom death sound, and the early My Dying Bride is just godly doom death, basically. Okay, Master's Hammer, the Felimnist Occultist, or the Gelimnist Occultist, depending on how you want to go. Czech black metal. Listen, check out the Czech black metal. You've got some awesome stuff in the overture, some timpani drums, and I think you can hear some of it in the rest of it as well. Let's put the speed back on 33 so it doesn't sound rubbish. Harp. Wait for timpani drums to kick in. In the background. You can hear them rumbling in the background. Yeah, hopefully you can hear that. You got the harp going on there. Sounds like a harp, anyway. Bling! And you can hear, you can more feel than hear the timpani drums, like boom, 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 like the big sort of deepy kind of drums going on in the background there. So is that everything? Yeah, I think I've played you it all now. I've played you everything. So that was, let's run for it again. You had Master's Hammer there, a little track called Overture, which is how to kick off the Filmless Occultist with timpani drums and a bit of kind of harp going on. My Dying Bride, some awesome violin mixed in with their doom death metal off of, I think this is their debut, Symphonia Infernus et Spera Imperium. Then we have Cadaver with some awesome cello work on In Pains. Really good stuff, got really deep resonance to the cello sound. And just the breathing on seances for never laid to rest just has a really cool element to it. And then we kicked off with the clicking fingers. I can't do it, but on Warp Speed demo. What's his face? Was it? I can't remember his name. Is it Metal Mickey? One of the guys on the channel was going through that the new Thrash UK Thrash compilation recently on his channel. Can't remember what it's called now, but I sent them the Warp Speed track, because they never actually had their own tracks. They managed to track down the band, and the band members, they didn't even have their own songs. So someone said, oh, I don't know, I think, you know, words, friend of a friend of a friend kind of said, oh, Gray's got this band. In fact, I've got them, the demo songs up on my YouTube channel. I uploaded them to my YouTube channel years ago. So they got in touch with me to sort of send them a good wave file of one of their tracks, so that's on there because of me. I think I might even be on the thanks list. I can't remember now. I did get sent a CD, but I can't remember if they put me on the thanks list or not. I think they might have done. But anyway, cool stuff, and yeah, awesome band. And the thing is with this band, they only had 2 demos out, and I've got both of them. I saw these guys live once in Islington Way at the place called the Pied Bull, I think it was called. They were supposed to have been supporting Acid Rain, but Acid Rain changed lineup in between Moshkinstein and the Fear album. They changed lineup, and so they didn't actually turn up at this gig. But I saw Warp Speed at this gig, and they were kick-ass. I had a wicked mosh. This was when I was about 20 years old, so a long time ago. And yeah, so I got both their demos, but one of this demo that I played today is supposed to have 3 tracks on it: Parched Ground, Stand Still Timeless, and The Nothing Room. But it's only got 2 tracks on it. I've never had this track, Parched Grounds, and it's really irked me forever. So if anyone's got Warp Speed's Parched Grounds track off of this demo, Distant Screams, then please get in touch. Please, I need to have that track. It's been like 2 decades I've not had that track. I'd like to get it if I can. Alright, so is it 3 decades now? 89 to 99 to 2009. 3 decades? 3 decades? Gee, I'm getting old. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, 3 decades I've not had that track. So if anyone's got that, please send it my way. And yeah, cheers for watching this. I hope this is okay to enter into Thingy Bob's competition. I forgot Jeff Lumin, is it? So I'm new to the vinyl community, so forgive me for forgetting people's names. I'm not a very good brain memory anyway. But anyway, yeah, I hope you like this video, and cheers for watching, sub and all that kind of thing if you're interested.